Good evening, everyone. If my voice echoes, let me know.
Good evening. Your voice is perfect.
There's no echoing at all?
No, it's
Good
very
evening,
good.
everyone. Okay, it is echo. Can you see that it came back again? If my voice echoes, let me know.
Good evening. Your voice is perfect.
There's no echoing at all?
No, it's
Good
very
evening,
good.
everyone. Can you hear me loud and clear?
Yeah, this time I believe it's better.
Okay, good. Thank you. See the screen?
Yes, we see it.
I don't get to see the screen. I don't know what to do to see the screen.
I believe it's first page of presentation.
Okay. Vladimir, you are also a co-host,
Thank you.
so you can allow people to come in, please.
Yeah.
Maggie 乐坏了给，
你个麦，
乐死了。
你个麦给啊？
咱们客人 Maggie， 我这个太紧张。
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Navtaj. Welcome. Welcome to our January meeting. We have been conducting this meeting since April 2005. We never missed a meeting. This is the change of time. So we're going to be doing it now for this year, every second Tuesday of the month. Possibly maybe we're going to start time maybe 6:30 to 7 p.m. A lot of people are complaining 6:30 is too early. And I understand that people who are on the East Coast or West Coast, they have a little issue. But again, I guess we will do our very best to accommodate everybody here. To begin with, I just want to say happy New Year to everyone. I'm so happy that you're able to join in tonight. And we are going to have a lot of excitement. This real estate business has been booming. Anybody who has bought a property 10 years ago, you know that by default, you become a multimillionaire. So I'd like to be sharing a lot of information with you tonight. This information will something in the purpose of to educate, enlighten, and share what we have and what we can do together though. And that's the whole purpose of this meeting tonight. We have about 7 different guest speakers. Out of 7, maybe 3 or 4 will be available tonight. These are the top-notch people in Canada who bring a lot of value on the table for us though. And very important for us to realize that these people who have come in, they are coming in to share their knowledge unconditionally though. And that's the best part of it though. And we're gonna get cracking actually. As a matter of fact, we are having a little technical issue here, which shall be resolved in the next 30 seconds or more. And once this technical information is taken care, I believe we are really good though. Thank you. Good to see all this, some of these faces after a very long time. I'm glad you guys are here tonight. And we're gonna make every attempt to make this presentation very valuable for you. I believe we could start if I can get signal from these people saying yes. Yes, you can start. If you guys can give me a little bit, go ahead. Still waiting for the go ahead. Wonder why they're holding me back here. If you can give me, please go ahead. I can start then. Waiting for my technical staff actually, and they're gonna say yes. As a matter of fact, we are fairly short-staffed, but that'll work out all right. We'll make it work. All right, everybody is welcome to go to chat, introduce yourself if you like, introduce who you are, what you are, where are you from, what exactly you're looking for. Anything and everything will be, they get to know you at the same time though. It's important that we get to meet everybody here. Okay, we are ready to rock and roll yet or not? Okay. Not giving me. Okay, please give me go ahead and we can get cracking, please. Thank you. Okay, we have people coming in. All right, okay. Those who are first time here, I want to say welcome. Welcome to everybody into the Pre-Canada membership, Pre-Canada, why you should join the club. Simply for, it's more for yourself. We are here to serve you. We are just like volunteers. We are just accommodators, moderators, whatever you want to call us. And the whole thing started many years ago. You can reach to a plateau where you become very successful. Then you wonder, you know what, I could do more. I like to share more. And I like to listen to other people's opinion at the same time. And the network club is only done for 2 reasons. And if you are not doing it properly, you may not be benefiting the most. But here's number 1 benefit. Your network is equal to net worth. In this business, you need people who are on the similar background though. The more people you know, the more money you make. It's that simple. No 2 ways about it. And the amount of money you're going to make and the amount of people you need to know is very important as well. So network equals net worth. And this is our newsletter. If you are not getting it, please make sure you get it. But we have about almost 30,000 people in one of the mailing list altogether. Altogether, we might have a lot more those people, but about 29,786 are the numbers. And the best investment you can do is to learn more, to earn more. That's how everything goes here. Your contacts is very important that when you come to networking meeting, please build up your contact. Who do you want to deal with? Each contact equal to number of contracts. Real estate is all about contracts. Who do you know? What do you know? And how long you have known each other though. Extremely important to know who do you know. Tonight, we're going to be presenting David Grossman. He shall be with us shortly. David, are you there yet?
Yes, I'm here. Hello, I'm here.
Okay, David, you want to take it over right now from here? David,
Sure.
gentlemen, David Grossman is a mortgage broker. I call him a brother from another mother, one of the most respectful gentlemen I've known for many, many years. He's the one who helped me to start this club altogether. Whether you like it, believe it or not, this gentleman have helped me for many, many years. And we have been very good and close friends for a long time. And he's always there to help us out. And that's very important that we get the help from each other. So David, I'm gonna take it over right now, please, and share what you got.
Okay, thank you very much, Navtaj. Happy New Year to you and to everybody who's on the call. It's nice to see everybody here today. Hope 2022 is going to be an amazing year for everybody. Going to break through some, anything that was holding us back before. Let's make this a special year, despite some of the things that are going around us, which can bring some people down. But we have to stay positive and think the things that we do have, and not focus on the things that we don't have, because we still have a lot in this day and age in this country with all the technology and friends and networks like this one here that Navtaj has organized and all the great people. So one of the things I wanted to talk about today was a little bit about some of the compliance that's in place in our industry to protect people, to protect borrowers, to protect mortgage applicants, because this is something that I think a lot of people don't know about. I've been asked recently to work with some lawyers. Actually, I was referred to some lawyers who need mortgage brokers to testify and look at some cases to see, certain things. So it reminded me of a few things that in our industry. And the first thing is, if you have a complaint about a mortgage broker, you need to put that complaint in writing and send it to the principal broker of the mortgage brokerage. This is it's a highly regulated industry, and the mortgage brokerage has an obligation to respond within a certain period of time. I don't remember exactly. It's probably about a week or something like that. And if their response is not satisfactory to you, then you can escalate to the regulator, who is now FSRA. It used to be FSCO, but it's now FSRA, FSRA. And this could save you a lot of headache, because if a brokerage has done, or an individual, because sometimes you have rogue, what we'll call rogue mortgage agents who do things that they shouldn't be doing, that the brokerage may not even know about, but the brokerage is ultimately responsible, and at the brokerage license, it's their license that is at risk. And they must respond satisfactorily to you. And if they don't, you can go to FSRA, and the brokerage has to deal with FSRA. And the reason I brought this up is because I've had times over the years when people came to me and they said, David, we were so badly mistreated by a mortgage broker. They took a deposit from us. And, there are restrictions as well with respect to deposits that brokers can take. Very strict regulations about how much they can take, or like for a certain residential deal, they're not allowed to take a deposit. And these people were used and abused. Money was taken from them. And they were like, do I sue? What do I do? Well, you don't have to necessarily go through the trouble of going to court and all the hassles that are involved with that, because the regulator is there. There are a number of disclosures, and there are a number of things that brokers have to do when they're arranging a mortgage for you. There's various disclosures that have to be presented. Cost of borrowing, amortization schedules. There's also supposed to be a 48-hour waiting period. So they have to disclose all this to you before you sign documents, unless you choose to waive the 48-hour waiting period. And that's done to protect borrowers in case they enter into a contract that maybe because they're, desperate or something like that, and then they have a cooling off period. So there are regulations in place to protect people. Hopefully you won't come across mortgage brokers that will make your life difficult and ever have to use that. But that's some knowledge for you, because in case you hear of a story one day, whether it's you, hopefully not, or someone who feels that they were mistreated, taken advantage of, that's recourse that they can take with no cost to hopefully find some remedy for their situation. So that's my information to start off the year. If anyone has a purchase coming up, they're looking to take out equity of a property, want to do some long-term planning, how they can buy properties, fix them, flip them, give me a shout. I'm happy to help, always happy to speak with you and do some planning for sure with everybody from Navtaj's great network. Navtaj, thanks for having me today. Nice idea to move to a Tuesday evening, for sure. Great to see everybody. Thanks for the opportunity.
Excellent. Thanks, David. David Grossman, are you going to be hanging around for a while, or are you going to be?
I will be hanging around for a little while, yes.
Perfect.
Thank
Well,
you.
David Gross is going to be here. You guys are welcome to call him directly. David at Rock Your Mortgage. I like his website, rockyourmortgage.ca. And again, your phone number, you can see it on the fine on the slide here. And he has been a broker for a very long time, very helpful, down to earth. And again, expect him the highest level of professionalism. And that's something you will be very happy with. As a real estate investors in Canada, we have to keep our industry super clean. It's okay to be upfront, and you can share if you're planning on refinancing it, getting a new mortgage or something. Strongly recommended that you speak to David Grossman. Thanks, David. Appreciate it, my friend.
Thanks.
So we're going to bring our next guest speaker. He won't be here tonight. Jeff Levy is the real estate lawyer, and I was unable to make it, but we are going to get him soon as we go along in perhaps next meeting. So here is something else. What people are making a lot of noise, and the noise is genuine. And this is time to protect your real estate shelters, not the tax shelters. So if you guys can hear me, I am heading towards my next guest speaker. What happened to the wages and how much you pay tax on the wages, how much you pay on the stock market. And if you are building a lot of wealth on your principal residence, guess what? You're not paying a dime as your taxes. Again, that's their point of view. And in case you like to take a picture of this little slide, please go ahead. We'll hang in for a few seconds for a good reason. And you may gonna find these are the hardworking Canadians who are working at the low-end job, and they feel they can't or they may not be able to qualify or get a house in their whole life. Whatever they're doing, how much money they are making, they are not be able to make it, and any income they earn is 100% taxed. So here is a takeaway. On your principal residence, if you bought the house in 2012 in Toronto, the house has gone up by $1 million. You have earned yourself a $1 million doing nothing, living in a house, and it's absolutely tax-free. Welcome to Canada. And Canada love those people who own the properties though. This is something else. They are talking about surtax, and they want to tax on those people who own a piece of properties over $1.2 million. It is just a little talk. It's the same platform called Generation Squeeze. And they are saying, we need to get out of it. If the government will start collecting their taxes on all the real estate, we would have collected about $3.2 trillion since 1977. Having said that, I am going to bring our next guest speaker, Jerry Hogenhout. He is a gentleman who is licensed in 5 different regulated investments. He's the only one and only one. And he's always here to enlighten us. Jerry, are you here, my friend?
I'm here, Nav.
Okay, it's all yours, my friend.
All right, great. Well, thank you, Nav. Happy New Year to everyone. Great to see everyone again. Hope this is a great year coming up. Nav, great. Thanks for changing it to Tuesday. I love the Tuesday.
All right, 20 Tuesdays.
But anyway, great segue into my little chat. I'm going to talk a little bit about taxes, as I always do. As Nav says, I'm a chartered professional accountant. Worked 10 years in the tax department at Deloitte Touche, so I got a strong tax background, and I bring that into the investing world, and certainly specifically in real estate, where most of us have our interests. So I just want to talk a little bit. The time of the year is great. It's January. We just got into the new year. It's a great time to get organized, rethink, strategize, and just continue on our real estate journeys. But it's a good time of year to take stock of everything and try to figure out what we're doing and where we're going. I know myself, I take this time to really look back in the past, what happened in 21, what are we looking forward to in 22. My goal, not only for myself, but for my clients, the goal is to reduce taxes. Taxes is the biggest expense of our life. So we work with people to reduce taxes. Again, most of you, if not all of you, are real estate investors. And there's many ways to reduce the tax that we have on real estate. And when we talk about real estate, I know this group. You guys do a lot of flipping. So when we talk about real estate, there's many different categories we can subdivide into. Flipping properties. We can get into joint ventures. Lots of people own their own properties. Probably the best thing you can do. Limited partnerships. A lot of times we, work with people, group them together. Nav, I can't agree more with your opening comment or one of the comments about your network equals your net worth. It is so true. I work with so many people in the real estate world, and it just seems those that seem to be a little more successful or have really created a good cash flow system or business model with real estate are those that are involved in networks and reach out to these groups, have coaches, have mentors. So I think that's just a great comment that you put up there, that your network is equal your net worth. But anyway, we got tax season coming. Well, tax season's really on us, so certainly on me. What do we do? Here we are at the beginning of the year. What do we do? What are things that we look forward to? First thing I always try to tell people is, we have some deadlines coming up, and understand them and understand what they mean for you. So, the deadlines in our world, the end of February is coming up. Okay, that's a deadline for 2 big things in our world. One is RSP contributions, which many of you know that I'm not the biggest fan of RSPs, but I'm not a fan, when I say that, I'm not saying don't put money into RSPs. I'm saying I myself only look at RSPs from a tax perspective. Okay, we want to use RSPs to save tax, period. We do not need RSPs to save for our retirement. We need real estate. Okay, real estate is a much better way to save for retirement than an RSP. Again, not saying you shouldn't have an RSP, but the only time that I use RSPs is if we're winning on the tax side. Okay, we get a tax deduction putting money into an RSP. We have to pay tax going out. So we want to make sure that we have a higher tax saving going in and lower tax rate going out. So for those of you that are in 30, 40, 50% tax brackets, as I've preached before, an individual has 4 tax brackets, basically in general terms, 20%, 30%, 40%, and 50%. So if you're up in the higher income level and you're in a 40 or 50% tax bracket, by all means, put money into an RSP. You're saving 40, 50%. If you're in a lower tax bracket, do not put money into an RSP. Okay, look for other ways to save for retirement, such as real estate. And those of you that utilize corporations, lots of times you can make a lot of money in your corporation, and not, you can have a small amount of money come onto your personal tax return. Much better way to save for retirement through your corporation. Myself, we always structure corporations to be used as retirement vehicles, certainly as opposed to RSPs. But again, beware of our deadlines. February is your deadline. Make sure that it makes sense for you if you're going to be contributing to an RSP. Another big deadline, the end of February, is the filing of dividends. And what that means is for those corporations with December year ends, we have to file dividends. We have to determine what dividend income you should be utilizing before the end of February. That's our deadline to file these dividends. So those are deadlines certainly that we can still utilize for last year's taxes. As far as this year taxes, once again, I always encourage everybody at this time of year, it's a good time to get organized. We need to get our financial information ready from last year in order to prepare our tax returns. Many of you have your own real estate properties. So we need information as accountants. You need to give us information about that so we can use that information to minimize your taxes. Those of you that own rental properties, we look at rental properties from 2 ways, asset and income. Okay, balance sheet being your asset, income statements being the rental income that you receive. On the asset side, if you buy or sell a property, we need the covering letters from the lawyer. Okay, if you buy a property, the lawyer is giving you a covering letter. We as accountants need that document. We need the trust the trust ledger and the statement of adjustments, both for a purchase of a property and the sale of a property. Okay, so make sure that you have that information ready for us. As far as the income side, those of you with rental properties, you have rental income. So summarize that. You show that to us. You got to summarize your expenses. Okay, the expenses that you pay, not the expenses that your tenant pays. If your tenant's paying heat and hydro, we don't need to know that. We need to know the expenses that you pay. Give us good information on the financing of these properties. Borrowing money to invest is tax deductible. Okay, so if you're borrowing money from your home, HELOC, other people, OPM, you borrow money from other people, any of that interest that you're paying is tax deductible. We need a good flow. We need a good audit trail of those expenses. If CRA does an audit, we have to be prepared for that and give them the information they want. And the more accurate and easy to follow that information is, the better off we're going to be in that audit. Lots of you with rental properties, repairs and maintenance. Okay, you fix a door, you put in a new window, you put in a new roof, you do a complete gut. We need to know, we need those expenses summarized. Some of those expenses are capital expenses, which means capitalizing an expense means we do not write it off against your rental income this year. We add it to the cost base of your property. And some of the expenses are what we call non-capital expenses. They're just regular expenses. And a simple example, if you fix a doorknob, okay, that's a regular expense. That's a repair and maintenance. If you're going to replace the roof, that's more of a capital expense. So think of it more, there's no black and white number as far as how much you can spend to determine whether it's capital or non-capital. But usually $1,000, anything under $1,000, we usually expense. Anything over $1,000, we'll consider expensing or capitalizing. Also, the life of the expenditure, i.e. if you fix a roof or replace a roof, that's supposed to be 20, 25 years, we definitely capitalize that. So those are things, again, we make those decisions, but you need really to give accurate information. Also, again, always a good time to, look at tax saving strategies. Some of you utilize corporations, some of you do not. I'm not saying everybody should utilize a corporation, but in most cases, we're saving tax. A corporation on active income pays tax at 12%. Okay, that's very low. We can channel income through a corporation, pay 12%, and we can basically pull out about $40,000 by way of a dividend from a corporation and pay zero personal tax. Okay, so a lot of the strategies that we use really are geared towards saving tax, but when we're trying to borrow money, the banking system, I call them the CRA banks, because they work for CRA. They make us do things that we don't really want to do as far as our income and our tax situation, but they force us to put a lot of income on our personal tax returns in order to qualify for mortgages. So we're always dealing with that, the yin and the yang, the back and the forth, about trying to save you taxes, but also making you look favorable at the bank. My good friend David Grossman was just on, and we always go back and forth. I'm trying to save the client's tax. David's saying, "Hey, I need to show some income so I can get your client some mortgage." So there's always a compromise. It's always good to have the accountants talking to the mortgage agents when we're preparing. Again, we're at the beginning of 2022. If your goal is to buy a property this year, next year, we have to prepare your tax returns for those purchases. So I know there's a lot of flipping. Nav is the flip master of Canada, I think. Anyway, I know a lot of the people here do, follow Nav's lead and work with him to flip properties. When you flip properties, is that business income or is that capital gain? Okay, there's a question mark there. Okay, so and in a lot of cases we have some flexibility. If it's to our advantage to consider that a business income, then we would go that route. If it's an advantage for a capital gain, then we would go that route. And a lot of that depends where you are flipping the property. Are you flipping it personally or are you flipping it in the corporation? So those are things that we go through with everybody, certainly at this time of year. Again, on our deadlines, I mentioned February is one deadline where we look at the RSP contributions and we look at the dividend declarations. There's also deadlines in regards to filing tax returns. If you're filing a personal tax return without self-employed income, your deadline is April 30th. If you're filing a personal tax return with self-employed income, your deadline, you and your spouse's deadline, becomes June 15th. For our December 31st corporation, for corporations with December 31st year end, our deadline is June 30th for filing. Understand that there's a difference between filing tax returns and paying taxes. The big penalties happen when we do not file on time. Okay, make sure we file on time. Make sure you're aware of those deadlines. Lots of people, myself included, I've never paid a tax installment in my life. Okay, I've been supposed to, but I don't. I pay a little bit of interest because of that, but not a lot. So, I'm not too worried about when I pay my taxes, but I'm very, very, very cautious about when I file my taxes, because that's where we run into the bigger problems. So make sure you're aware of the filing deadlines. Also understand that we as accountants, we're very busy in the next 4 months, very, very busy. And a lot of the tax planning we do, excuse me, certainly can be done during this time. But the last 6 months of the year are a much better time to work with clients and structure affairs. We have more time. The whole tax system is a real funnel where all this tax work has to be done, and it can only be processed at such a pace. So, these right now, before we really hit tax season, is a great time to get organized and restructure from a tax perspective, as it is in the last 6 months of the year. So anyway, that's really it. I mean, again, my goal is always to save you taxes, to lower taxes, work with your financing partner. If you're looking to, acquire properties, we need to set you up properly to be able to obtain mortgages. Certainly from conventional sources, private lenders, we find couldn't care less what your income is. They're more asset lenders. So private lenders are a great match when we're trying to buy properties. Joint ventures, if you're involved in a joint venture, from a tax perspective, we need to see that joint venture agreement. If you're in limited partnerships, from a tax perspective, we need to see the documentation relating to that limited partnership. So anyway, I can go on and on, Nav, but I think I've taken up enough time. So I just want to thank you very much for inviting me again. Just want to wish everyone a fantastic 2022. I'm here to help you if you need some tax help, if you're looking for some tax structures. Again, Nav is just the king of all these deals that everyone does. And I know he's made a lot of people a lot of money. But we don't, we want to keep it. We don't want to give very much of it to the government. You touched on something very interesting about the principal residence. No tax as of yet. I mean, they're threatening, they're talking. Still, real estate is, one of the best ways not only to build wealth, but there's so much
Vem aqui com o Antônio, senta aqui.
in real estate to save taxes. So anyway, Nav,
All right.
that's it
Thanks,
for
Gary.
tonight. Thank you again. All the best. Happy New Year, everyone.
Thank you once again. Again, those who want to get in contact with Jerry, Canadian Investment Services, investmentservices.ca, or you can see his number, call him directly, make a first appointment. He has been around for a long time. And as I always said, I wish I had known this man 30 years ago or 40 years ago. But again, it's never too late. We came to know each other for a year and a half now. And it has been so good. His advice himself is a full-time, almost a real estate investor, almost full-time investor. And look at his credentials. And that's why we bring people like him to share their wisdom and knowledge, because they are in the same trenches as you are in. But they're a little bit ahead of us because they got education, 30-year plus experience, plus 5 different licenses, and that make it is the most valuable person, as the most valuable speaker for us. Having said that, let's move forward. Ask him anything. He's gonna be in the break time. Make sure you hang in there around 9 o'clock. We're gonna be going into break rooms, and you'll be able to speak to him directly at the same time, though. Moving forward, our friend Turn the Brain for Learning, unfortunately won't be able to attend tonight, but he will be joining us shortly, and he is a 5-time winner of the Reader's Choice, one of my best friends. He's a Trainer of the Year, and we will definitely have him in the next meeting, though. Now, having said that, what is happening in Toronto? Now, we're going to bring somebody specialized in Toronto real estate market. Why it is important for us to know what's happening? Because we get the experts, what happened in 2021. What happened to the property prices went up by 25% or 24%? What happened in certain areas, the property value appreciated by 40%? What is happening, the supply since 2007? Now, here is something, it's a really scary figure for if you are a first time or home buyer. There are only 3,200 homes available for 6.5 million people in GTA. That is really, really, really scary thing. Only 3,232 listings available, active as of what date? I think it's January 7th or 6th, by the way. And that was reported by the Toronto Real Estate, January 6th, by the way. And last year, the Toronto Real Estate realtors sold 121,000 properties. It's amazing what these guys do. Now, are we going to have another year full of all the real estate market in 2022? Please put in the chat box, What's your opinion on it? Whatever your opinion is, we respect that and we like your advice. We like your opinion, by the way. Having said that, I'd like to bring another professional who is 9 times, not 1 time, 9 times best-selling author and also a sister of mine, Randy Goodman. Randy, are you there, my friend?
I am. Thank you so much, Navtaj. You
All
are,
yours.
thank you. And thank you for the intro. It's a pleasure to be here, everybody. Happy New Year. I send all kinds of warm wishes and good health and prosperity to everybody. So hoping you have an incredible year. And if you're part of this group, there's no reason why you will not. So thank you, Nav. I've known Navtaj for quite a long time. He was a huge support to me when I decided I was going to do a real estate developers expo almost 10 years ago. And, you know, I couldn't have pulled it off without him. We've been good friends ever since. And I just have an unbelievable amount of respect for you, Nav. And, you know, you're such a wealth of information. I'm just thrilled you've built this incredible group here where you're just out of love teaching everything that you know, and it's a beautiful thing. So thank you for doing everything that you do. Now, I'm going to share my screen if that's okay. That's okay, Navtaj, if I share my screen?
Yeah, you can just go ahead, please.
Okay, so I'll tell you a little bit about me first. So I love real estate. I've been investing for over 30 years, and I have been producing events for the last 13 years. I absolutely love it. So I've built a wonderful network there. And over the years, I also started helping people publish their stories. So I've helped almost 200 people become #1 international best-selling authors. And I love that, you know, any way that I can help people, I love to connect them and give them a platform to grow and to build their business and build their mindset as well. And I know Navtaj is all about the mindset. So totally in line there. And I actually converted the one-day event into a membership program where we have a couple masterminds. If you're in business and you're looking to connect with people in business, there's always a platform for you there. But having said that, I got my license a few years ago. And when I started taking the classes, my youngest son, who was 18 at the time, decided that he wanted to go to school and learn to become a real estate agent as well. So we went to school together. And let me tell you, it was a ton of fun. He beat me on 3 exams and I beat him on 3 exams. So we're even. But we had a ton of fun. It was a lot of fun. So I'm going to talk to you guys about buying secrets. So keep your money where it is. And what does that mean? So if you're out to purchase a property or an investment property, whatever, any big item that you want to purchase, it's probably not the greatest idea to start making other large purchases right before. And David will probably attest to this. You know, lenders need to see that you're reliable and that they want a complete paper trail so that they can get you the best loan possible. If you start opening new credit cards or get too much debt or buy a lot of big ticket items, you might have a harder time getting a loan. So one suggestion is don't make any big, huge purchases right before you decide you're going to buy a property. Okay. Get approved for your, get pre-approved for your home loan. So there's a difference between being pre-qualified and a buyer who's pre-approved. So anybody can pre-qualify for a loan. Getting pre-approved means that a lender has looked at all your financial information and they've let you know exactly how much you can afford and how much they will lend you. So being pre-approved will save you a lot of time and energy, so you're not running around looking at houses you cannot afford. And that's a huge one in the market. If you're out there looking for investment properties, I suggest you know exactly what you can spend. So if you don't have the cash in hand, definitely get a pre-approval so that you know exactly what you can spend. And you're not disappointed when you get turned down because you're not able to buy something that you emotionally got attached to. So, and I know, with investments, we're not supposed to get emotionally attached, but sometimes we do anyway. Okay, next one is avoid a border dispute. So what does that mean? It's absolutely essential to get a survey done on your property so you know exactly what you're buying. It helps with when you want to put up fences. It helps with arguing with your neighbors where your property lines are, but also your property tax is based on how much property you have. So you want to know exactly how much property you have so you're not being overtaxed. If you're undertaxed, obviously you're not going to argue anything, but if you're overtaxed, then you definitely want to be able to know exactly how much property you have. Okay, don't try to time the market. What does that mean? So don't be obsessed with trying to time the market and figure out when is the best time to buy. If you ask myself or any other realtor, we're going to always tell you now is the best time. We know what's happened in the past. We don't know what's happening in the future. We know what's happening right now. So trying to anticipate the housing market is impossible. All it takes is one announcement and it can turn the entire market upside down. Trust me, I've seen it live quite a few times. The best time to buy is when you find the perfect house and can afford it. So real estate is cyclical, as you know. The market goes up, the market goes down. But if you look at any long-term stats, you'll see that the line is constantly growing. We're constantly appreciating. Look at the housing market 50 years ago, 40 years ago, 30 years ago. We're constantly going up. So you will always have ebbs and flows, but we're constantly appreciating. Okay, bigger isn't always better. And sorry, I just have to plug in my computer before it turns off. Okay, sorry about that. Okay, bigger isn't always better. So everyone's always drawn to the biggest, more beautiful house on the block, but bigger isn't usually better when it comes to houses. There's an old adage in real estate that says, don't buy the biggest house on the block. The largest house only appeals to a very small audience. I've been in this position. So, and you never want to limit potential buyers when you go to resell. Your home is only going to go up in value as much as the other houses around you. So if you pay, say, $500,000 for a house, and your neighbors pay $250,000 to $300,000 for a house, your appreciation is going to be limited. So sometimes it's best to buy the worst house on the block because the worst house per square foot always trades for more than the biggest house. So just keep that in mind, especially if you're buying it for investments. Okay, avoid sleeper costs. What's a sleeper cost? So the difference between renting and home ownership is the sleeper cost. Most people just focus on their mortgage payment, but they also need to be aware of the other expenses such as property taxes, utilities, homeowner association dues, if there's any other, you've got any maintenance fees or yeah, you might have maintenance fees, or you might have to repair something on the property. So new homeowners also need to be prepared to pay for repairs, maintenance, and potential property tax increases. Make sure you budget for sleeper costs so you'll be covered and won't risk losing your house. And sometimes people forget that, but as an investor, you really need to know all your costs. So make sure you're aware of everything that's might be hidden. So you're buying a house, you're not dating it. So getting back to the emotional side. So, you know, a lot of people will buy houses based on emotions. And when you're buying a house for yourself, it's more likely that it's an emotional purchase. When you're buying investment properties, there should be no emotion in it. It should be strictly business numbers. Are you making an ROI? Are you cash flowing? Are you appreciating? And that should be your main concern. So buying a house based on emotions is just going to break your heart. If you fall in love with something, you might end up making some pretty bad financial decisions. There's a big difference between your emotions and your instincts. Going with your instincts means that you recognize that you're getting a great house for a good value. Going with your emotions is being obsessed with the paint color or backyard. It's an investment. Investment, so stay calm and be wise. Okay, we're getting down to the bottom here. Okay, give your house a physical. What does that mean? So would you buy a car without checking under the hood or having a mechanic look at it? Probably not. So it'll cost, you know, a few $100, but it could save you thousands of dollars to do an inspection. The last thing you want is to purchase a house that might have a foundation problem or something major, and it ends up being a way bigger job on your reno than you imagined. So it's a really good idea to do a home inspection anytime that you can. I realize that sometimes when we're doing last minute purchases or quick purchases, we may not have that luxury, especially if it goes into multiples. Sometimes we have to waive that, or an investment property that comes up and you want to grab it, and it's okay to take a chance, but just keep in mind that you know, there's the possibility that there could be something larger going on than what the eyes can see. So you may even want to bring a construction person when you go and check out an investment property. Okay, so the secret science of bidding. So your opening bid should be based on two things: what you can afford and what you really believe the property is worth. So quite often when people get emotional about something, they will overbid, and sometimes they can't afford the number, or they went over the price of what they were pre-approved for. You want to be careful that you're staying within your limits. And if you need to partner with people in order to increase those limits, feel free to do that as well. You can always joint venture with people or partner with them in many different ways in order to increase that budget. But make sure that you are staying within your realm of what you can afford. And also, you know, I know in today's market, it's really super crazy. So people are overpaying, there are multiple offers, they're fighting for it. Mostly their residences that they're fighting for because they're living in themselves. Investors don't tend to do that unless they see the numbers working out regardless, which is quite possible. But just be wary of what's going on so that you're fully aware of what those numbers are if it's an investment property, and that you are still staying within the realm of cash flowing or you know, going to appreciate in the future, whatever your goals are, make sure that you're still falling within that realm. And last but not least, stock the neighborhood. So sometimes we'll drive to see a house and the house is absolutely gorgeous, but the neighborhood not so much. So even whether it's for personal use or investments, you still want to make sure you're getting it in a good neighborhood so that you can rent it out and cash flow, or that you can renovate and flip and earn some good coin on it when you do that. You can check out the property morning, noon, and night, see what's going on in the neighborhood, see what happens, you know, around town. Sometimes you find the perfect property, but then when you go and take time to check it out, you find that maybe it's not the perfect property. You can also speak to neighbors in the area and ask them questions. So definitely get your feet on the ground, knock on doors, talk to people that are outside, and find out if this is the right neighborhood for you, whether it's for your personal use or for investments. So thank you very much, everybody. I'm excited to be here and looking forward to learning more as we go on through the evening. So thanks for having me.
All right. Thank you, Randy. Thank you so much for sharing. And this is the lovely lady. I've known her for a very long time, and I'm glad that she was able to make it tonight. It's I know we have changed the schedule, and every second Tuesday, I think it'll take a little while for everybody to get used to it, but I think we are getting there now. All right, moving forward to the next thing we're going to talk about is some of the stuff we will talk about. Who wants to buy a low risk, high reward, instant profit properties in Canada? We have superstars in our team here. They'll be more than happy. They're super kind investors. They are with you as we speak, and they are happy to speak to you. Is everybody able to see the screen right now, or do I need to share the screen again? Anybody please help me?
Share the screen, Navtash.
Share the screen. Okay. All right, good stuff. Thank you. Now everybody can see the screen now. Perfect. So anybody who want to buy a low risk, high reward, we have several properties. We have some condo conversions in Winnipeg. We have some properties in Edmonton, properties in Nova Scotia. We have Alberta. We might have Saskatchewan, and we have Ontario. And you can please feel free to talk to any superstar. They're going to identify themselves, and they will be more than happy. You're going to find these are the super kind people or super kind investors, and they will help you a little bit more than what are you expecting. Why? It's always it's nice to be nice, and you are here to build connections and learn from each other though. A little thing about disclaimer: it's illegal to operate as a broker or real estate mortgages or securities unless you are properly licensed. Be careful, you are not allowed to collect a fee by doing this business unless otherwise you are appropriate licensed. But however, it's perfectly legal to buy and sell a property all by yourself, and you have the right to assign the property which you own. You can also charge a price or assignment fees for your right under an option to buy real estate. Make sure you get the advice from a realtor or a real estate lawyer in writing if possible. Another legal disclaimer, and all information we are sharing tonight is general information only. Make sure you get all the legal advice or professional advice from the proper people. We are not responsible for any matter, direct or indirect, any special damage, however, this caused arising out of this information provided tonight. So this is a little thing. So here is something I'm sure most of you will agree with me. When you rise in the morning, think of what a precious privilege to be alive, to breathe, to think, to enjoy, to love. I'm sure most of you will agree with me. Yes or yes. If you say yes, please put in the chat box. And it is important that we sincerely appreciate what we have. And those who are not, I'm sure we can appreciate it more though. Next thing I'd like to share with you, gift of success. We as a parent, we as a family send our children or brother or sister, parents to schooling. And that schooling is perfect. And there's different schooling we have, we call in the form of what? To teach some strategies, learn something which will make you a lot more money, which is a little bit off the topic because they don't teach you in the school. They don't take you in the trenches. They're not doing it. They're just reading from the textbook though. Again, nothing against the regular education, but just thought in case you want to give yourself a gift or somebody else, you should be. And here is another gratitude. I like to share it every time. I don't know why this thing has stuck with me. Not in hospital. I'm sure a lot of us can relate to that. Not in jail, not in grave. Take a few seconds, even 1 second, to say thank you, Lord, for today. Thank you for being here tonight. A sense of appreciation, a bit of a gratitude altogether, though. So our meeting's gonna be held. These are the dates for the whole year. Everything will be online this year, unless otherwise something dramatically change. It'll be every Tuesday night. We are planning to change the time between 6:30 or to 7. And once we get some feedback, we will figure it out. Should we do the meeting at 6:30 or 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time? I know some of you are from East or West Coast, but we will definitely take your opinion into consideration though. Moving forward, Ikigai, those who know what Ikigai is all about, what you love, what you're really good at it, what the universe needed, and make sure whatever you do, you're getting paid for it to buy a piece of bread and butter on your table and something you're really passionate about. For me, my passion has been real estate for many, many years, and you're going to find very hardcore, passionate real estate investors here tonight. These people are totally crazy. They're totally dedicated, and it's nice to know them. And they are not only real estate investors, they're very helpful. They want to help. Forget about their ego, how much money they have. It's not about that. They are eager to help at the same time because somebody did help them out and they're willing to give you back. So I want to say thank you to everybody who's being here tonight. So let's talk about some breaking news and what's happening in the market right now. So some of the information we get, you should know that all the information we try to get is reasonable resources or sources, and including the Stat Canada, Bank of Canada, CBA, Toronto Real Estate Board, and so on. And some of the information come from the media and so on, though. All right. So what's going to happen in 2022? What is in the agenda? What exactly is going to happen? So I have two different presentations tonight. What's going to happen in 2022 when it comes to projections are, what should be looking at the shortfalls are, what is going to happen in the resale market, are the interest rates going to go up in April, what is happening with the residential property, is the home buyers are in trouble, now they have a lot less inventory, what is happening in the commercial, retail, and office conversion, how about the short-term rentals because of this pandemic is not seem like going away. Are we going to have a burst? Are we going to have a boom? Are we going to have a regular market? What is happening in buying the backyards? We discussed last time what the federal government is doing, what grants are available from provincial or municipal, and what happens if they introduce a speculation tax, which is already in place, but in a different format though. I'm going to be sharing with you shortly though. So please take your camera and take a picture of this particular slide, please. Thank you for homing. Is it homing.ca? Thank you. They share the strategy, like what happened in 2012 to 2022. In the beginning of it, what are the property prices in Toronto? A regular detached house is up by $1 million. Semi-detached, almost 800,000. Townhouses, almost 3 times. Condos, almost double and a half. Condo townhouses, they're done well, about 500,000. So given a choice to you, if you look at all the numbers and the history, there's something is telling you black and white that a detached house can be a better investment because of appreciation, especially in GTA. And if you're able to buy the detached house, as in this market, for $1 million and $1.5 million, it may appear to be expensive, but 10 years down the road, you're going to say, you know what, I did the right thing. And real estate is all about buying it 10 years ago, 20 years ago. And this slide prove it to you, hey, this is going to happen in next 10 years again. If you're a first-time buyer, it's okay. Time to bite the bullet. Moving forward, Prime Minister Justin Trudeau, what is he saying? We are going to have 401 new Canadians coming in and 411 new Canadians coming next year. He did not mention in this slide, we usually accept 80 to 85,000 refugees who are displaced people every year. And then we also get somewhere from 150 to 250,000 international students. So if you add up all the figures, our population is growing, just to make sure that in 2030, when every fourth Canadian is going to become a senior, we have enough workforce. And our workforce is different now. Our economy in Canada is knowledge base, artificial intelligence. We are losing a lot of industries, by the way, but we are gaining some new technology. And this technology hubs are coming everywhere, whether it's in Toronto, whether they're setting up in Halifax, they're setting up in Calgary or Edmonton. Even as a matter of fact, they're setting it up in Yukon. Why? Because the reason is simple. In San Francisco, it's very expensive to hire the same talent. In Canada, you can hire the same talent for half the price and have the first-class, world-class facilities though. Just keep in mind, all these factors do matter, why people love to come to Canada and live here. And that's why there's a bigger lineup. So here's something else about the foreign buyers. Now, these are information is available from Stat Canada, and it is strictly is not up to date, but in 2020, 1 in 10 recently built condo have been bought by a foreign buyers. Why foreign buyers are buying it? It's a safe place to park the money. Anywhere there's a disturbance, right now, what is happening in Ukraine, or what happened in the Middle East, what happened in the Asian countries, and anywhere, even in South America or South Africa and so on, people love to transfer and they like to have the money in the safeguard. People love to invest in US, but now the preferences has been Australia and Canada and also New Zealand a lot. Here is something beautiful about growth. People say, why should we move to Toronto? Everybody's getting out. Hello, over 1 million people have moved to Ontario in last 5 years. 1 million people. This information is based upon the, in case you want to take a little picture, this comes from the Fraser Institute. What is happening with employment? People say, no, there are high paying jobs in Toronto. Very high paying jobs. If you notice that GTA, then it becomes Ottawa Gatineau, then Windsor, Kingston, Greater Sudbury, and London, and where the areas which are not doing that great are including Peterborough, Thunder Bay. Again, Thunder Bay has been booming. We have been there recently, and we have a few investments there, but it's again a different market. Here's the good news. In December, Canada created another 55,000 jobs, despite this pandemic, though. Again, some of these jobs are based upon because of pandemic. Now, this is going to go back and forth, whatever is happening to us, but our economy is very steady, pretty strong. What people were fearing about this COVID, that we're going to lose thousands of jobs. No, we are gaining back, and we are gaining back recently at a very fast speed, though. Now, this is something scary. Now, politicians are known to do what? Get attention. They will make any statement whether they have the power or not. And this has been around for many, many years. It goes back and forth. Mike Coley is one of the councillors in the city of Toronto. Their elections are due in October. Provincial elections are due in Ontario in June. And they like to make a comment to get something on the media, the headlines. And so how about introducing a speculation tax to cool off the market? Ladies and gentlemen, those who have been around for a long time know that it happened in 1974, April 9th. The Premier was Bill Davis. It brought the market back into 50% discount. Overnight, the property value did drop. Just be aware of it, because anything can change, because we are at a point where anything and everything can happen. I want you to do one thing we call stress test. In case everything drops by 30% of your real estate portfolio, would you be able to handle it? Would you be able to survive? And that's very important for us to know. So here is something, I discussed last time too. I like to take a little moment to discuss it. What happened for recipe of trouble? It's okay to be ready. It's okay to be aware what is happening behind the scenes. How long this low interest rate is going to last? What's going to happen for that? What's really reason for demand so high? Why the buyers are not caring about home inspection? They don't even bother looking at it anymore. How about people making offer above the asking price? The supply is what, 1.2 million houses short? The supply chain issues, because everything coming from all overseas taking 3-4 month delay. Materials are up by 23 to 25% up. And lack of skilled labor, we are facing it. Lack of inventory. And the vacant properties. This is something which government is looking into it. There are a certain set of people. They are speculation investors. And their principle is only one thing. They want to buy a piece of property, hold on to it because appreciation is 20-25%, and they can leverage it. And they are holding the market back quite a bit. If those speculative investors leave the market, we're going to have oversupply. So there's a bit of a balancing act. Again, this is my personal opinion. These are based upon all the facts and figures. I hope you find it helpful. In case you have any question, would you please put in the chat box? I'll be more than happy to speak to you on this as well, though. Moving forward, are we going to have a burst? The answer is not really. Why? Because everything is in our favor. Economy is doing well. Interest rates are lower. There's huge demand, and the confidence in economics is extremely high as we speak, though. So this is something I always talk about, the shock of 1974. This is what happened on the one of the worst day when property value did drop. And this is something you want to be aware of it in case somebody goes and decided to introduce something new, which can totally short the market in one day, and be aware of it though. This is something new. We have a brand new minister on the federal level, and his job is after 26 years, we are the first time a minister for housing in Canada. And what they're trying to do is see if they can ban the foreign buyers, expand something to do with vacant homes. All they want to do is help to get inventory going. And they're also putting a little pressure. In Canada, we have 3 levels or 4 levels of government, and they don't work together. They are not in harmony. They are not on the same level. And the synergy is missing. Because, for example, if you want to get approval for a subdivision, you submit the stuff to the municipality, and municipality can take their time. Usually this is 1 year. It can take 1 to 6 years. And that does not help. So they're trying to do is help and speed up the process. And there are a couple of other things they are going to, there are a bunch of wrinkles in the system And I'm not too sure if they're willing to give away the power. Municipality want to hold on to their power, provincial government want to hold their power, and so is the federal though. So this is a bit of a dilemma because I believe they have to come together on the same table and say, listen, what the Canadians want. And that's the biggest problem. So here is what's going to happen in all big cities. And it's just a matter of time. You'll be able to go up to 6 stories in larger cities. It's called yellow belt. We have green belt in Canada. We also have a yellow belt. Yellow belt are the properties which are in the core, and they're built on the main streets. And there is something with the agenda. How about we allow people to have 6 stories, and main floor or second floor, including basement, can be commercial, could be storefront, could be office, and people can be living up there because we do not have the land. We have the same problem in Vancouver and same problem in Toronto because south side of Toronto is lake, north is a lake belt, and same thing in Vancouver. One time is ocean, other time is on the mountains. So this is something you may don't be surprised that we start seeing something along the line in a very near future though. Here is a good friend of ours. He got awarded Order of Canada. A fellow real estate investor, ladies and gentlemen, a fellow real estate investor. This gentleman has a school. He donated $10 million in the University of Lethbridge. Anybody here from Lethbridge here tonight? We're just buying a piece of property in Lethbridge today. Hopefully we are buying it there. And this gentleman has been awarded Order of Canada, and I do not know how to pronounce the motto, part of the motto. Anybody like to pronounce it for me, please? Please go ahead. Anybody know how to pronounce this word right here? I got it. Anybody? Nope. All right. Thank you. Here is something else we see in Toronto quite a bit. People talk about properties which are abandoned. So this is another piece of property which has been abandoned for 15 years. Investors, what do we need to do? Need to know who the owner is, knock on the door, and this building could any time fall apart. And it's a hazard. Okay. Again, this is an opportunity in a one way, and this has been abandoned for what, 10 years, since 2014? Just thought I should share with you. How many of you would love to buy a surplus property for $1? Anybody, please put in the chat. Anybody interested to buy a building for $1? Only 3 or 4 of you, 5 of you. Keep going. For $1. Guess who is the owner? Province of Ontario. What is it? It's OPP station, a police station. The location, 49 South Service Road, Mississauga. The approximate land, 1.75 acres. Why did they do that? It's called Infrastructure Ontario. They manage the property for the province of Ontario. And they just listed on the MLS, by the way, for $1 to see the reaction. What did it go for it? It is going to go for quite a bit of money. You'll be able to build low density townhouses on it. It will be rezoned for single family homes. Just to let you know, to grab the headline, everybody tried to do something just to grab the attention though. But it's a beautiful piece of property. And since it is on MLS, every developer, every builder have an eye on it. And we shall see. We'll let you know the next meeting, which will be on February 8th, what are the results. But again, don't take it as granted that everybody's going to make an offer. There's a possibility that not that many people are going to make an offer on it though. So given a choice, we will be making an offer for sure. Whether we make it as a group, whether superstars or myself or whatever, there will be somebody making offer on these deals, by the way. There are a bunch of deals comes along all the time, which are surplus properties. Now, this property is absolutely ready for development. How far are you away from development? 1 to 3 years. What can you build? Luxury townhouses, maybe $1.5 to $2 million a pop on the high end, because the area is excellent location, by the way. All right, mention to this one again, negotiation. That's something we all do every morning with ourselves, with the people. And I start writing something, and I'm preparing a course on negotiation, though, to avoid the dirty tricks, confirm what you have writing, then there's no more surprises. It is very common right now from the last 10, 15 years in real estate. People flip-flop, including their lawyers, you name it. And unless otherwise you have something in writing, signed, sealed, and delivered, we have lost a bunch of deals where we forgot to give a deposit, didn't get a receipt for it, or we forgot to have proper witness it, we didn't put it in writing, and the next thing you know, somebody else grabbed the deal behind your back. So we have a little group call on Facebook called Negotiation Techniques. I write a couple of tricks, whatever my experience is for the last 40 years, plus my 5 mentors. If we combine all my experience together with my mentors, is about 250 years of experience. Just thought I should share with you. And I put every day 1 or 2 tricks. So what can we expect in 2022? This is a projection from Remax. Remax does it. Roll the Page does it. And I strongly believe they offer a strong value for us. If you pay attention to it, you're going to find that you can take a lot of value from them, though. A lot of high value. That's my personal opinion, because these companies have been around for a very long time, and they do it for PR, for public relation, and they just also get it to get media attention. But I like to share what they have to say. And if you like it, you're welcome to take pictures of the slides. But otherwise, Google it, you can Google it. But what I do is I put only the essence of it. I don't put everything in it because there are too many things on it, though. So 2022 virtual home buying is going to be normal now. It's becoming, people are becoming very comfortable to buy property without looking at it, though. Would it be a seller's market 2022? Absolutely, because the supply is so little. It's not funny, though. So what government is thinking to do? Now, national housing strategies to boost supply by combining federal, provincial, and municipal government. They have been talking forever. And they are offering incentive to the builders to start building more rental units, and offering them some tax rebates, cutting the bit of red tape, you can say that. And they also help by asking the homeowners to see what can they do to increase the listing, though. Land transfer taxes are very huge and very big in Ontario compared to Alberta. But again, these are all suggestions on the table. Now, here is the real deal, what they're saying. 1.2 more million people come to Canada. We have about 38 million people now. And every time a one person comes to Canada, it creates a ripple effect. One family or one person moved to a town can create and stimulate a Canadian economy, by the way, because our economy is very different. And even if one person comes in, it changes everything altogether, though. So now with the new people coming into Canada or new Canadians coming to this country, they are coming with a different outlook. They're coming with a lot more different skill. They're coming with a lot more money. And there are small percentage which are coming in as a part of the circumstances which are refugees. But again, in a way, here is something they're expecting. The Calgary market will go at least 3% up to 20% in Muskoka. They're saying Toronto between 6 and 8. And every time you hear opinion, it's opinion based upon which pocket in Toronto and what kind of property. Is it a single family home? Is it a detached house or a townhouses? Was it semi-detached or is it a condo? Again, I strongly believe that demand will remain very strong in 2022. and we can expect again price grow tremendously. If you have any different opinion, please share with us on the chat. If you have any input, we will sincerely appreciate it, because this is something we all here to learn from each other though. Those who are interested in coaching program, this thing we have been offering for a while, and these coaching programs is not for anybody and everybody. This coaching program is working on the real deals. It's not chit chat or somebody reading a script to you. This is just getting down and dirty in the trenches. So if you're interested in it, you can just send a text message and we can get back to you, see if you are qualified and if you had to wait for a while to get in there. Cash home buyers, we are #1 cash home buyers, by the way, in case you have a lead, this is not working out for you. It's a commercial deal, a larger deal, a smaller deal. We will like to participate with you. We'd like to buy the property from you. We are happy to pay you finder fees. We work together. We all work together. Something about Alberta real estate boom. Yes, it is happening. Alberta market is still very underpriced regardless, no matter which way you look at it. Another student of mine, or should say coaching student, just bought a 2 million square foot of office space with 1 million square foot of parking. Got a heck of a deal, and too bad I was not able to participate in the deal, but I was aware of the deal. It is, he bought already 2 hotels there, larger hotels, 220, 240 units there. I strongly believe there's a huge opportunities in Alberta and Saskatchewan, but be aware of it. Where are you buying though? If you're buying in a larger town, which is much safer, if you're buying a smaller town, make sure the industry can support itself. A little bit side note, and this is something what we see it all the time happening. A lot of people are leaving Ontario. Over 50,000 people have left last year to go to smaller places like New Brunswick or whatever. And when they go there, after 3 months, they realize that, oh my Lord, we made a biggest mistake. And they have moved to Prince Edward County, to wherever they have moved to Peterborough. Then they realize it, they don't have all the benefits when they used to live in Toronto. So this is something which is, you will see it back and forth happening all the time. But be aware of it, that Alberta, more people are moving in Alberta than leaving now. It's getting to a point where the oil prices are, I believe, are going to become pretty steady. They're not able to build those pipelines to US because of the new politics in US and Canada. And our politics does affect our investment portfolio, by the way. We are already looking for a joint venture partners. We have some buildings which can be which are commercials. If you're looking to park your money for the long-term basis, which is RSP money, TFSA money, or short-term, we do not pay high interest rates, by the way. This is something for a long-term, those people who have money in the GIC, people sitting in the banks as savings, your money will be placed on the most safest form, by the way. This is not for those greedy people. This is for the long-term, steady term basis though. If you're looking to place your RSP money, TFSA, or any other money at reasonable rate, we are definitely open to it. And you can talk to a couple of the superstars in the meeting here tonight. This is something happening all across as we speak. Some of the superstars are working in those very painful situations. We have foreclosures in Alberta, BC. The ladies are facing eviction. We have the same thing happening in Manitoba, in Winkler. They will be kicked out on 27th of January. We have 2 of them in New Brunswick. We also have 2 of them in Ontario. And regardless how market good it is though, we know what to do with them. We can help them out. We do not have to make money on these deals, but they're there. And I'm gonna humbly request all of you, please do not deny. If somebody calls you and you can't help them, please refer to us. We'll be happy to pay you some kind of referral fee, but our intention is, our goal is to remain the same. We do not want to see anybody become homeless though. Okay, and just keep our number handy, and a bunch of these superstars are super kind investors, and they have the same principle that we want to help fellow Canadians though. This is something I've been saying it all along, and we are going to keep continue saying it. Over 2 million homeowners in Ontario could be subject to, and it will become to just a matter of time, whether a year down the road or 2 years down the road, when the interest rates start rising and the market start calming down. A lot of people have stretched themselves way too far. So here's a story I got today. It's been on the table for about a month now, and it came back again. A homeowner bought a piece of property, and the builder have put a restraint that he cannot sell it for up to 1 year. And he can't afford it. He doesn't want to lose his deposit. So now he get in catch-22 situation. So the offer we have, he paid $950, and the current market value maybe 1.1, 1.2, maybe it's 950. We do not know exactly because we are not able to do all the verification though. But this family put themselves in a jam, and if they don't do anything, the 3 properties are going to go power of sale, all 3 of them. And it may gonna have some chain effect, and it has a ripple effect. And all of a sudden we notice that every time we are dealing with a power sale or a foreclosure, it's not only affecting one family alone. Actually, it has a ripple effect. And then you realize it, hey, Jim is losing the house, so is the John. Why? Because they work in the same industry and both got laid off. And then you realize it, oh, they also have a friend named Leo and Uncle Sam. And the funny thing, this one, the moment you contact one person, get US, you got yourself a gold mine, but also a responsibility to make sure that you're able to help each and every family. Those who have attended apprenticeship knows exactly, it doesn't cost us anything. We can help every single Canadian family. So regardless, the tsunami of foreclosures and power sales, when they're gonna come in, it's all building up. Because this boom has been going for so long, the property values are out of whack. And a lot of people, I'm not sure how they are surviving. And I'm gonna have a humble request for you, if you ever get a chance, please do so, go to a food bank. You're gonna be surprised, people don't have enough money to buy the food. They either have the money to pay mortgage or food. And that's pretty sad. And they got the house because they are hoping to turn around and make money, which hopefully they do. But they are hanging on to the house and making monthly payments by putting another roommate or whatever it is. But it is not the amount of money you need, the income you need to buy a house in Toronto is out of whack. It's not something feasible for a majority of the people who are buying it. Okay. 1.3 million vacant homes, which we mentioned to you before. I will skip this one for a minute. And if you are facing power sale, if you're facing a foreclosure, we can help. We are definitely help, because as we speak in the winter months, we saw a lot of opportunity came to us in the month of December. And right now, as we speak, I think we are dealing with at least 5, 6, or 7 situations where people are dire situation, and our superstars are extending themselves, going to out of province and speaking to them, helping them to downsize. And also there's another element happening because of depression and divorces. And I will definitely like to talk about deaths, depression, mental health, and divorces in the next meeting or 2, and see how many families are breaking up. And we are trying to see how can we help them, and some of the data might be available through uh, will be will be able to share with you. Somebody requested if you can share this slide. Here it is, my friend, the president. Thank you, Bertha, so much for being here tonight. Appreciate it. Moving forward to something else. We are always looking for acquisition managers, always looking for anybody who can lead provider. We pay you handsomely, by the way. You come across many leads, you don't know what to do. It's property too big, too small. Give us a call. Let us walk you through the deal. This will be helpful for you. We pay finally pay up to $5,000, and this is something I discuss all the time. And these are the opportunities for all of us, by the way. And these opportunities exist everywhere in Canada. This piece of property, 275 Forester Road, is going to become under a municipal tax lien auction. And this property, based upon CBC News by Michael Smee, the current value at that time was 3.5 million. It's about 7,000 square feet of lot. You should be able to build approximately 2,100 to 3,500 square feet of a house on it. And this is something, if you are not familiar with it, this is an area where we teach you in the apprenticeship program. We teach you in our master classes. These programs, one must learn how to buy properties in auctions, by the way. Our apprenticeship program is coming in February 25th to 27th of this year. It'll be 3 days training online. If you are interested in joining the apprenticeship program, please give us a call. We'll be more than happy to take you. Now, this is something I've been raising voice, and I like to also bring it in the new year. We, as a Canadian investors, create a lot of affordable rental units. And I have been asking the MPs and even writing a letter to the finance minister that people like us who are real estate investors actually do a good service to Canada. We create a lot of rental units, turning basement into another unit, turning into duplexes, and we should be getting a tax credit just like the builders do. Just like when they ask people, builders, hey, create rental units, we are creating rental units. Even we are creating 1 or 2. Don't you think it's fair that we should get a tax credit? Please put in the chat, yes, that we should get a tax credit. Even though we are a minority, we are a very, very small amount of investors across Canada. And I strongly believe that even few of us are gonna say, yes, we deserve it. And you'll find that down the road, everything starts with one voice, one opinion. And eventually maybe 2 years down the road or 5 years down the road, it can become a law. And you guys are gonna say, listen, I was one of those pioneers and who was helping and saying, yes, we should get a tax break here. Something about coaching program, as I mentioned to you before, success is largely about discipline. And coaching is a must when we were a child or parents were a coach. When you go to work for somebody, your boss is your coach. If you're married, sometimes your wife, your husband can be a coach, and you're coaching to your children all the time. And it's a responsibility, and it's something, so that anybody and everybody can come on top of it. And having a coach multiply your success by 5 to 10 times. That's my personal opinion. I have coaches from day one. I'm so happy I do. Thank God I meet my coaches once in a month in person or otherwise, and intend to have other coaches from time to time to come in, whether it's my personal life or spiritual life, or whether it is for health or whether it's for wealth and management. All these people who come as experts, they are my coaches, by the way. Invest in yourself. I'm going to skip this one. It's the skill that pays the bill. Please remember that. If you want to take a quick picture of this one, please. This is so important for 2020-22. It's the high income skill that pay the bills. And that particular thing applied to me in 1981. And that has been about 40 plus years now. That have changed everything. The whole life thing changes altogether. And here's my question to you, respectfully. And when I say respectfully, and I'm saying it in a very profound manner, and you can ask yourself, what kind of skill do you possess? Is your skill is going to pay you $40 an hour, or $400 an hour, or $4,000 an hour? Does your skill give you the lifestyle what you're looking for? Are you passionate what you do at work? That's your skill. And your skill is going to pay the bill. And it's extremely important that we evaluate it. And funny enough, though, and I will like to admit it in front of all of you today, that my passion has become my addiction. I love teaching, I love sharing, I like getting the deals done. And some of the people say, why do you keep doing it? I say, it's just a rush. It's just like it refreshes you, it gives you, energizes you. And you want to reach to somebody out there to make sure nobody become homeless, or you want to have another challenge and love the challenges, love the difficult scenarios every day. When people say you cannot be done, say, no, I want to get it done. It gives you a rush. And that's my kind of thing that I know. Like, that's why I say I love to live in the trenches all my life until the last day of my life, because it's fun. I'm not afraid of the fact is I will not be successful, but I love the brand new challenge. And real estate will offer you tons of challenges. And every time you have a challenge, you're going to develop a beautiful skill, by the way. High income skill, please write it down. 2022 should be a goal, which can pay the bill for you and your grandchildren. Not children, but grandchildren. All right. And if you have opinion on it, please feel free to express it here. I'm going to skip this one for the time. What coaching do? Limiting beliefs. I'm going to skip this one. And this is something else, black swans. Anybody? I'm not sure if anybody aware of it. The demons within you are holding you back at times. Your attitude, the demons, which can really rock the boat. You're ready to rock and roll, and something holds you back. So, okay, what did I do? What is holding back? Is a fear from the childhood, fear of success, whatever it is, be aware of it though. Okay. If you have a coach and mentor, make sure they are in the trenches with you, and that's very important for you. Okay, moving forward to this thing, I'm going to skip this one. Anybody need a consultation directly with 15 minutes, please give me a call. This is my gift to you for January, February. Just to let you know, I'm in February 1st, I'll be turning 65. Thank God I made it up there. So I'm going to be, I think I'm going to be eligible for my Canada pension plan or something along the line. That'll be wonderful. I've been in business for a long time. If you are interested in doing any joint ventures with RSP, TFSA, or any capital, please feel free to talk to us. If you have any questions, you're going to ask anything. Now, it's something you should know. This is something very important, by the way. Though some of you may or may not be aware of it, there's $5,600 available to upgrade your energy, especially nowadays in the winter, whether it's a furnace, windows, whether it is leaky basement, whatever it is, check it out. And these grants are different in Edmonton and Toronto, and they are known as PACE, Property Assessed Clean Energy. Please check these programs available for you. Tonight, I'm going to ask you a question. Who's here from Calgary? Anybody here from Calgary? Calgary have announced, oh, one of them. Thank you, Andrew Chen. Thank you, sir. So Calgary have introduced a new rebate up to $3,000. They have quite a bit of a damage simply because of the hail. And this grant will be available till May 31st, 2022. This thing applies only to Calgary area only. If you are in a good standing about property taxes, you are eligible to get this special grant. And they're asking you if you are replacing a roof with a certified class 4 impact resistance. And this is impact resistance roofing are those who can handle the hail, those big balls of snow or ice. And that intend to do a lot of damage, by the way. And this is very occasional. They're not offering all across Canada, but they're only offering right now by the city. This is a municipal program, not the provincial or federal though. Just to let you know, their house is making a lot more money, 160,000 per year in Canada, by the way, it's tax-free money. Government of Canada is looking very carefully, and they are afraid to introduce a tax. That is the tax on your capital, on your principal residence. But it is a very ticklish subject. Don't be surprised if they decided to do so, because it is quite possible that they may introduce this program though. So Canadian luxury tax is already in place, by the way. So those who are interested to know that I was just reading a report today, the rich people are becoming super rich. The rich Canadians are becoming super rich. They do not really care about the taxes. There has been more expensive cars sold in last 1 year than any other time of the life though. Why? Number one reason, if you're an investor, you know that if you own 5, 10 different properties or 10 properties, you might have made yourself $2 to $3 million simply because of the gain in prices. If you have done some flipping or so on, you might have made for $3, $4, $5 million or $1 million or 50,000. One way or the other, if you are investing in real estate, you have the license to print money or make money though. So starting this year in January 2022, be aware of it. So some of us do buy these expensive toys to enjoy part of the life, but this is the new tax, by the way, and make sure that if you're planning to do it, be aware of it, that you have to pay for it though. This is a scary, scary part of the real estate business. Real estate is not becoming only city level or provincial level or the country level. It is becoming continental as well as becoming global now. This is the very scary part, what is happening in China. Now, there are 10 Chinese developers, they have defaulted since June of last year. 1.5 million apartments are in the middle of it. The company called Evergrande has 4 million employees, and they are in trouble. And they are offering their properties in a fire sale, but nobody wants to buy them. So this could, again, just like the pandemic, this is a big, big red flag, which can affect the global real estate values. Again, don't forget that knowing where something can come up, where we shall have some sort of preparation, no matter what. And we are very heavily dependent on each other. It's not anymore Canada, it's not more North America anymore, it's a global economy now. So just thought I should share my personal findings with you. Blue Monday is always the best day to buy. And we, as a group of investors or superstars, our intention remain, hey, can we do a deal on Monday? Can we get the deal signed on Monday? And somehow, somewhere it works. Whether it's a placebo effect, we don't know that, but it works though. The next wholesale program on training will be on January 20th on Thursday night from 6:30 to 9:30 p.m. Flipping for Profit.ca. Those who have not taken the master class, please get yourself a ticket before it gets sold out. You know, we usually teach a very small handful number of people. And if you are interested, please just go ahead and get it though. Check before you invest, by the way. This is something happening. all across Canada. There are a lot of companies coming in offering all kind of incentives. Some of them may not be legit. So if you're planning to buy a really once a lifetime opportunity, please check with your security commission. If you're in Ontario, check with Ontario Security Commission. And they have the website called Check Before You Invest. And if you're buying it by yourself, more power to you. At least you have realtor, you have your own power team or experts working with you. But some of you are being intrigued to buy into some properties. For example, we received a bunch of phone calls. Hey, this is the deal. It'll be 5 or 10 years down the road, 380% return. All your investors, $100,000, and 10 years down the road, you will get that much money. But where's the land is in the boonies, and they are based upon not anything substantial. So be aware of it wherever you invest them. Before we go any further, next meeting will be on, the next meeting will be on February 8th. So we are not done yet. We're just getting started. For next 20 minutes or so, we are going to be going into break rooms. You're going to meet brand new people. There will be approximately 4 rooms available. Everybody will be requested to speak at least for 30 seconds. Introduce yourself. Let us know what do you have, what you want, what are exactly you're looking for. And the superstars in each room are going to be helping you. They're more than happy to help you out, to figure it out, what's required, what you should be doing, what you should not be doing. And it's gonna be about 60 seconds silence in between. And when it happens, make sure that that everybody takes just a little time, and please come to those meeting rooms and make sure you speak as we go. I will be coming into each and every room.